but Buie, if you got a preacher condoning this or being a homosexual preacher,
he's not my.
No, I'm not saying you. I'm not saying you.
Me. I don't have to accept what he believes or what he says. Y'all got.
But he's supposed to be. He calls himself serving the same God. It's totally disrespectful. That's what I'm saying. And you're mocking who I serve. Now, there's things that I do that are definitely not becoming of a Christian. That's why I don't profess to be a Christian. You know, I believe in God and I believe in his son and I trust the Holy Spirit. Other than that, but don't, if you could talk about you being gay and want to come all out and all that shit, I could talk about how I don't like it. If you could talk about how you like it, I could talk about how I don't like it. Go ahead, Mr. Blue.
Yeah, I think the problem that I have is it being forced onto you.
Right.
I can't. People love who they love. My sister is gay. She was trans. She was going through a transition, but she almost committed suicide because she basically said, I found out that I wasn't a boy in a girl's body like everybody was telling me. I was just a girl who liked girls and I like to dress in jeans. So the issue that I have is how it's being put into our K through 5 and K through 6 and K through 7.
How's that happening?
It's being.
You say it's happening. How is that happening?
It hasn't happened yet. It hasn't happened yet.
I know that for a fact. That is happening.
Tell me. I'm asking you to explain that. Okay. Don't tell me what you know.
Sam, go ahead.
I'll send you all the links afterwards.
I'm listening. I'm listening.
I'll send you the links. There's not one thing that I say to anybody unless I have documentation, unless I have certain things.
We're on a podcast, people.
Okay, Blue. We on the time span. Go ahead and say what you got to say, Bob.
You gotta make it clear and put it in context what he's trying to represent.
The issue that some people have with the LGBTQIA+ community is not because they love who they love. The issue is that it's being forced on everyone else.
Right.
You have a group. Hold on. You have a group that's less than 0.5% of the United States. But guess what? As I said before, I'm pro-black. Because they don't have a big enough group, they try to recruit people in the black community so they can make their numbers sound bigger than what they are. And then they use us. And once they get their agenda, like they did with Barack Obama, like they did with other people, what they'll do is they push us to the side. Each time, especially on election years, black folks is promised this and given hope. And then as soon as the election's over, they push to the back of the line. Look, Black Lives Matter helped Biden get elected. Once he got elected, he didn't take a meeting. Ice Cube tried to force them to put a $500 billion capital access to black businesses. And one side said, okay, let's implement it. They implement and present this platinum plan. The other side said, okay.
I asked the question, you're talking about something else. And I agree with everything you're saying right now.
But he hasn't finished his
Okay. Hold on. Let's calm down. Okay, let me put it this way. This is how it's affecting me personally and my daughter. Say, for instance, she likes rainbows. She likes different clothing. Hell, I got some outfits with different. You know how colorful I am, boy. Everybody know how colorful I am. I can't wear my shit because it look like I condone homosexuality. She can't wear her stuff because she looked like she couldn't. We had to send some stuff back because they said this shit look gay. You know what I'm saying? It's terrible. It is really horrible. Look, they had some gay pride events saying, kid friendly. Did y'all see that? Kid friendly gay pride event. One was in High Point. One was in High Point. One was in Fayetteville. All right, Mr. James. Mr. James.
Yes, sir. Well, it's like I'm a little tired tired of that alphabet stuff. Comparing themselves to black people. That's number one. We have nothing in common. Nothing. When I walk out my door, everybody and their mama knows who I am. When they walk out their door, until they start swishing and say, I'm on, nobody knows who the hell they are. Okay? Hollywood, I'm just in the industry.
Someone will say that.
Just in the industry I'm associated with, nobody was paying attention to gay folks. How many men did Marlon Brando sleep with? But yet he's still the great actor.
Rock Hudson.
No, Rock Hudson. I mean, they slept together. Rock Hudson and Marlon Brando, and you name them. Nobody cared. They were still stars. Black men couldn't be stars, but they were able to be stars. Yeah, granted, you couldn't publicize it. Yeah, okay. But the point for me, the point is, look at now that the floodgate has opened in the last 10 years with Obama. Look at commercials on television. Black men. How many straight black men do you see in commercials on television? Almost damn near 80% of all black men on television who are in commercials are gay.
And they all about hiding that you got AIDS.
Yeah, I'm not worried.
Where they do that at?
I'm not worried about it. Hold on, let me finish this out. You don't see white men on those commercials as gay. Either the black men are gay or they're with some other woman, white or Latino or Asian. Yep. Don't tell me there's not an agenda there.
It is.
There is an agenda. You have transsexuals who are reading stories to kindergartners. That's not fabricated. That's true. They're pictures. You can go on the internet and find those pictures. There is an agenda. And don't tell me that we are the same. We're not. Simply not. That's a big problem that I have with it. I don't care what you do in your bedroom. I don't care. I don't want to know. But I was dating a girl who said, we should go and watch Brokeback Mountain. I said, oh, no. No. What the hell I want to see two men kissing for? She called me homophobic.
That's uncomfortable for me as well. But
let me finish this one last little thing, and then I'll shut up.
No, you're good.
I've got a friend who told me just 2 months ago. His agency said, we want to send you out on this gay role. And are you okay with it? He said, no. They let him go. Dropped him from the agency because he wouldn't kiss another man. Every script that goes through Hollywood has to have a gay character in it. Otherwise, they won't look at it anymore. And that's from somebody who knows this business.
Yeah, so what you're saying there, I agree. I definitely agree. Well, let me say, I agree that definitely there is overrepresentation of LGBTQ among our population because, like you said, there's such a small percentage of them, but they must be represented in film, in music, or they're being, short. I agree with that portion. I just disagree with the strong demagoguery and some of you say, I don't care what they do in the bedroom. And yes, everybody has an agenda. I agree that LGBTQ have an agenda because they're trying to normalize who they are. I don't have to let them normalize it for me. But I cannot in good conscience say that they don't deserve civil rights, that they don't deserve to be able to have a job, that they can't marry or that somebody can't go visit a loved one in the hospital because it's illegal for them to have certain privileges that non-same sex couples have. That's what I'm talking about. But
I agree with you 100% about that. Yeah.
I agree with some of the things that you guys are saying, and I agree that it should not be it should not subvert children's thought processes either. I agree with that.
Let children be children.
Yeah.
I don't even want them exposed to heterosexuals.
Hey, pretty soon, it's gonna be against the law to have gender reveals. Pretty soon, they ain't gonna have no gender reveals.
Yeah, I mean, there are people that are taking it too far. There's no doubt about that.
Because and you say it doesn't. How does it affect you? It's like the basketball player that got thrown into jail in Russia. Her and her wife now have a child, and the interviewer said, "How's it feel to be a mother?" She said, "I'm not a mother. I'm a father."
That child gonna be screwed up.
You know how ridiculous is that? You want to be something that you hate. You hate men, and yet you want to be a man. Get that hell out of here.
Now, I did post a link to dragstoryhour.org. And the reason why I posted that, if you go to the website, you'll see that their entire organization is to get their community into the elementary schools. And they actually get $150 million a year of federal funding. Now, that just got voted out back near the end of 2022 as far as for them to get federal funding. But what happened is when we had the Inflation Reduction Act approved in 2022, after that, there were funds in there that was allocated so they could put it under the green agenda. But I just wanted to, let you guys know of one organization that had received over $100 million to go intentionally to go into elementary schools.
I do not believe in the concept that these people. I know who you're talking about. They say they want to play. They want to capture the imagination and play of the gender fluidity of childhood. I do not agree with that concept. And we should not consider children to be gender fluid.
No.
So I disagree with that. So there's no doubt about this level of pushing of agenda is out of bounds. So I agree with that.
I think that's the only issue that I have. People, look, you have to answer to God for what you do. Keiana has an answer. Hawthorne, we all have to answer for our own things, but just don't force it. Don't try to indoctrinate our youth. They should be focused on math, reading, and science. Even Black history. I taught my son Black history. I needed his school teachers in elementary to teach math, science, and reading. Because when I asked him the one question, who's the first Black pro baseball player? First thing he shot was Jackie Robinson. I said, wrong. Moses Fleetwood Walker, 50 years prior, played for the pro team in Ohio. So how are we going to learn a history from people who don't even know it? So when they start to indoctrinate our kids with LGBTQ, they don't have to say, oh, you're this, this, this. But that's like propaganda. When you see it, when you see lashes, a man with lashes and makeup, all this stuff in a dress, done up, dancing and doing all these things, you keep seeing this and it becomes normalized. And that's the issue that a lot of people have.
So let me say that. I'm going to say one last thing and I'm going to shut up on that topic. We carry this a long ways. My wife and I have fostered over 4 dozen children. Hear me well. 4 dozen children in our home over a 25-year period. Some of them come through here and they honestly believe inside me I'm a female inside. They're not playing, and then some you see are what they call bi-curious. You can tell that too. But here's my thing. Here's why I disagree with some of the conservative principles in regards to LGBTQ and children. If someone is having mental crisis, like if your daughter, Blue, was having in school and have mental crisis, kids are bullying them because they act funny, they act effeminate, or they act a little masculine. Those types of things. They should have a place to go and be able to talk to people. And they don't even want them to talk about it with anybody. They don't want them to do therapy or none of that. These kids are in school. It should be handled. Those things should be handled at school where it's appropriate. So I'm just saying you can't be totally hands off, but I do 100% agree there should not be indoctrination. There should not be a consideration that kids are gender fluid and all this foolishness. But you can't just bury your head in the sand and pretend. Look at when you were in school. You knew kids who felt that they acted gay and they felt they were gay. You can't.
No, see, I didn't. I can't. No, don't tell me what my experience is.
But back then, a lot of them hid what they felt.
Okay. Now that's a whole different thing. That's a different thing. Yeah, I mean,
and they were hiding it. They were hiding it because they knew that they were going to be cast out.
And the one person that I remember in high school that had the tendency, seemed to have the tendency, nobody messed with him. That's just him. He's a little out there. Now all of a sudden it's being pushed, and it's like, well, you got to be this, you got to be that.
It should not be pushed. We agree with that. It should not be. It should not be pushed.
Well, that's what I'm saying. But it's so ridiculous that we have gotten onto this track of.
I think the bottom line is that's your business. What you do in the bed is your business. It shouldn't be prophesied and publicized for everybody to know. Hell, I got a niece and a nephew that call themselves bisexual. To me, bisexual is gay. But so anyway, let's move right on along because
I have not spoken on the matter fully.
Excuse me.
You brought it up in the topic before.
Opinion and
you brought it up in the topic before.
Absolutely not. Everybody has rebuttal. Let me get on in there.
All right, go ahead, Keiana.
So, like with everyone, I definitely do agree as well that what you do in the confines of your home, that's your business. But what you're pushing, when you push it in my face and you give me the option to have an opinion and a say so, then I'm going to give you my opinion and I'm going to have a say in the matter. So that is exactly what has been presented. That's the opportunity that I have. So I'm going to cry loud and spare not. And I'm not going to be worried about feelings because mine are not being considered. If my child is 5 years old and everything that he sees is something insinuating confusion, in my opinion, or just not a clear understanding of what it is that you say that you are. With the link that Mr. Blue had shared, like I said, my son's 5 years old, PBS, Google, you have Disney, Facebook, Yahoo.
Sesame Street. You can't watch Sesame Street no more.
Everything is being influenced. We went to Disney World and there was just so many things that I was just in shock and awe of. The push is definitely something on my end, something spiritual, and I like to call myself a fruit inspector. So I inspect the fruits of your spirit and what you are choosing to do. This is what you're presenting, so I'm going off of that. It's not judgment. It's me literally looking and seeing what it is that you're choosing to present, because everyone has an opportunity. First impressions is everything. So if that's the impression you want to leave, that's what I have to go off of, and that is not judgment, but that is my view of what you are giving. With the Bible in itself and just America in a whole, it has turned completely away from God. And it's true in the way that they're pushing it, the way that they took the covenant of the rainbow, like Fitz had said, you can't even put on certain colorful colors because it's as if we're in agreement with what they're doing. So the enemy is very tricky. We know this. He's very tactical. We know this. So now he's infiltrating through clubs. He's already overtaken the music industry. They're pushing just ungodliness in itself through the music, telling the children, it's okay to live your truth. What is the truth? If we cannot come to an agreement on one single truth, how are we gonna know when the truth is really the truth right in front of us? Because everybody's got their own truth.
Religious truth, though. You can't push your religious belief on other people.
It's not necessarily religious. It's more so spiritual because it's things that.
Right.
Religion and tradition are two different things when it comes to spirituality. Because spirituality is when you actually. One moment, Mr. Buie. But spirituality is when you're tapped in with the source. Religion and tradition is when you're reading the source. When you're that's something that you're just going in the motions of. But
religion is man-made.
Spirituality is the real relationship, the communication daily with a higher source that's downloading these things into you. So, you know what I'm saying? That's the same thing with those children who say, in their heart of hearts, they believe that they are something that God didn't say, in my belief, is okay. That's a trick from the enemy, that he can also plant things into a child's mind. They have imaginations. Their imaginations can run wild, and if you do not help foster the right way to use that, it can be taken to an extreme to where they're thinking, okay, I can put on a dress like my cousin, or I can put some lip gloss on, it's okay. That's where it starts. Then, of course, back in the day, it was really frowned upon. And I also had a friend when I was in high school, middle school. He didn't come out until middle school, but we all knew it was something, a little something going on there. But we essentially allowed him to be himself and express himself. But when he would ask certain things, we would tell him the truth. So he knew where we stood, and he knew we didn't agree with the lifestyle. But if that's what he chose to do, we were not condoning it as far as going to events or supporting certain things. But him as a person, we wanted to see him thrive. But it just wasn't one of those things you're going to be in close connection with us.
Here's a prime example of how tricky it is. Everybody know who Drake is, right? Drake is powerful in the industry. And his message goes to every denomination, okay? All over the world. So whether you're religious, spiritual, Buddhist, Hinduist, Shintoist, Muslim, Christian, Taoist, or whatever, all right? They hear this. He went from God's Plan. Y'all remember his song, God's Plan? Went viral. Went all over the world. To Girls Like Girls. You feel me? Just something simple like that. My daughter can't watch Sesame Street. Mm-hmm. She can't watch Disney. Mm-hmm. She can't watch SpongeBob, which she ain't like anyway. She said, Daddy, that what is that? You know what I'm saying? My daughter's very intelligent. She can't watch Teletubbies. She can't watch Barney. She can't watch Holly nothing, Holly. I have to screen everything. We was watching Jurassic, the new kids show, Jurassic. Damn, it ain't too on there.
I agree. It's really bad. Being a mother, I'm right there in the same place.
It's sad, man.